Ah. Welcome, everyone. What's up, Randy? So I put I don't know if you can see it, the hot racing adjustable A-arms, but they're for the NASCAR, so they're short, and I tried stretching them all the way out and it just wasn't long enough. So I'm going to put the stock A-arms back in here and try to find a longer piece or something. Figure it out. But I had to work on all my cars today. I got a babysitter and my time's pretty valuable. So I was like, I want to get these suckers running today so I can get out. How are you doing, brother? What are you up to? Scalpel forceps? That's right, man. I got them right here. Whoop. We'll use those later for Gromzilla. If you're still hanging out, man. I'm going to go through all my cars right now. What's up, OG? How you doing, brother? Can you hear the music? Hopefully I don't. It's copyright-free music. Hopefully I don't get popped. I need a bigger screwdriver. Yeah, so I was out speed running this thing on 2S, and it was doing lovely until the adjustable A-arm popped out. So I was like, they're too short. They're meant for the NASCAR. But I tried to stretch them out, and it didn't quite make it. So it's a pretty quick fix. Figure you guys can join me. There ain't nothing else. I saw Team Corrali is having a live stream right now. They're coming out with something new. Anybody have a Corrali RC? Why can't I see what's going on over here? What are you up to, OG? I saw you working on your Typhon. Do you have any Groms, OG? I know you like bigger stuff. But I love this tiny stuff, man. It's light. They're small, they're cheap. I got room for them. I can throw them in my backpack. I have a small, like 16-liter backpack by Dakine. It's like a day bag. And it's called the Grom. So my Grom fits in the Grom perfectly. Dakine backpack. The Dakine Grom backpack is an excellent day bag. Okay, here we go. Check it out, boys. Got the HR locker. Take that out for now. This is a wonderful piece right here. Randy, if you haven't had one of these, it's so much better than just trashing all those differentials. And I put the HR cups on there too. I have broken a few of these HR cups, but since I've started packing the diff cups with foam, I haven't broken any. I haven't broken any axles either. So that was a huge improvement, putting those little silicone forceps. What do I have to do right now? Upper A-arms. Okay, I should probably take the wheels off. Just for now. You know what? I was thinking about doing a Quake. Like a Grom Quake. Just two-wheel drive. With my monster tires. That'd be funny. Putting some like 3D printed, bash guards like the Quake has. I was looking at that Quake, man. I ain't gonna lie, my birthday's coming up. But I was thinking I'd rather get like a castle system for these Groms. I was gonna try out their Mamba X2, Micro X2. And get a Castle 1010. Because my goal's 100, baby. I want to get 100 miles an hour out of this thing. And I ain't going to do it with no 2-in-1 system. Unfortunately. So, there you go. Nothing broke. It just, as you could see, to make it long enough, it was barely hanging on by just like 2 or 3 threads right there. But I figured it would hold up since I'm not bashing it, but it just took one little tiny roll and it popped out. So it's probably not the best solution. And I mean, you could probably get away with it if you were super gluing them in there, but honestly, you don't really even need adjustment on this thing. That's why I'm just going to put the stock one back. The rear end, it comes pretty well aligned out of the box, man. So they're straight up and down. They're not messing with the... I should probably clean the threads. Oh, that's another cool thing I want to point out. Dude, these rear hubs, these GPM rear hubs are actually really sweet. I like them. They came like jewelry and they fit, like the tolerances on them are actually really good. They're far better than the Fury Tech ones. Or, is that Fury Tech? What is this? Yeah, the Fury Tech kit. I'm still using the Fury Tech kit, but the GPMs are better. Get that nice and tight. That's important. Oh, and my drive shaft. Luckily, I was able to find my drive shaft. I was thinking of like spray painting these neon green so I can find them in the asphalt. It's not a bad idea, guys. You can see if there's wear or impacts if you spray paint them. There we go. Oh, I gotta take the other one off too. What's up, Shino Edits? You do car edits? I like that. That's kind of one of the styles I think I've been doing with my YouTube shorts, man. I know they're not for everyone, but I really like that car edit style, but like on a micro scale, you know? It's one thing if you go to like a car show and you're walking around a McLaren with an iPhone, or if you got a gimbal or something, but it's another thing to do it on a tiny scale and have to use telephoto lens and like super smooth. It's just kind of a challenge. And I don't, you know, there are people out there that are doing that kind of stuff, but I like doing it with these cheap monster trucks. Because honestly, I thought this was lit, man. This body style, the colors and everything. Oh, that was fire. What do you guys think? Did you like the Granite Grom when it came out? That green, that racing green? It was lit, man. Okay, now I'm gonna slide the locker back in there. Bro, get it out, Randy. Pull out your granite. What's wrong with your granite? What's up, Dwayne? You guys been watching live all morning? So, this will be a pretty quick fix, honestly. If you guys got any questions, man, go ahead and leave them in the comments, dude. Get a little discussion going. Christmas is coming up. You gotta start thinking about what are you gonna get for your kids. I'm just throwing this out here. You got diffs. The green aluminum. Oh yeah, these are the GPM. I also got the aluminum wheel nuts on this thing. That thing's rad too, huh? That one needs a shock bolt. So I was doing this one just because I thought it was going to be the challenging one today, but I guess not. Those look perfect. Okay. I am a big fan of the 2-mod shocks. If you guys are in the shock market, there are cheap replacements on Amazon, but they're actually built really well. They're perfect for these Groms because they're oversized, they're a bit bigger, they're a lot more heavy duty. they're machined really well. They come in a lot of different sizes and colors and stuff. So there you go. I don't allow too much on the back here, but I will tighten them down a little bit. There we go. Just little adjustments. Each time you go out, you change something. Just a little bit. A little bit more of something, a little bit less of something. Every time you run it, you're paying attention. Is it bouncing? Is it bouncing in the back? You got a wobbly wheel? Dude, hobby park shocks. What are the ones I got? I got some that were just, I think it was Power Hobby. I got the Power Hobby shocks, and they were garbage, bro. They lasted like 5 minutes. I broke them every way you could break them. I broke the eyelet, I broke the rod, I broke the stupid crap inside, I broke the cap. And I kept running them because they were green. And they were like the only green. So I kept just like gutting all the other shocks and just replacing, you know, just to keep the green alloy on there. But I literally had to fill them up with oil almost every time I went out there. So that's funny. You know, I don't even know if I've balanced these tires. Let's balance the tires. This is the wheel balancer off eBay. I think it's Hobby Park or something. It was like $17. You gotta pick one out, man. 12 millimeter. Comes with a 17 as well, so 12 and 17, but I pretty much balance my tires every time they come off, so every time I crash or every time I take them off, just to make sure they're not bad. They make a big difference on these tiny cars, man. They really do. So these are actually pretty good. They're a little off. I could put like a speck on there. They actually have the white mark. So then I got this. Another thing you got to pick up off Amazon, bro. This is lead tape. This is what I put on my bumper to keep the nose down, putting weight on the front end right there. And since it's lead, it's pretty good at absorbing the impact too. But I'll just clip off a little tiny hair of this stuff. Like a little tiny bit. And put it right on that high point. Oops. It's actually kind of worse. Oh, that was too much lead. See, they were actually really pretty well balanced, I think. That's why I didn't put any lead on them before. And then if it is too much like that, I'll take my little razor blade and just scrape a little corner piece of that sliver off. Now it should be perfect. And this usually does take a few attempts. That looks pretty good, guys. Uh-oh. Is it still too heavy? Oh. Probably doing too much. I was gonna do like an ultimate roundup. And get all of my wheels and try to balance them. And the ones that don't balance, I was just gonna throw them away. I think that's one thing we're all kind of scared to do, is just throw stuff away, man. It's like RC parts. You always keep everything. And then you end up with, you know, boxes full of junk. And then when you do need something, you can't find it. Yeah, get one of these wheel balancers, dude. They're like 17 bucks. What am I doing for my birthday? I'm celebrating my kid's birthday. My kid's birthday's tomorrow. So I'm going to be busy. That's why I'm trying to get all this RC stuff out of the way right now. Okay, let me mark that. I have a pizza party. I gotta still wrap the presents and stuff. Hopefully my friends show up, man. I invited just a few people. It'd be a shame if nobody made it, man. I know there's a lot, you know, there's a cold going around here. Everyone's sick. We just got over it. You know what I did with my bad wheel? That's funny you said that. See, look, that's perfect. Yeah, it just naturally kind of slows down like that. That's good. That's what you want. And you're not going to get it perfect just doing it by hand, but you can get it real close. Check this out, Randy. Let me find my... Where's my mic? Anyway, yeah, I'm using my original Fortress tire. Where is my mic? Huh, that's weird. Oh well, probably fell behind my desk or something. Yeah. I use my Fortress tire as a mic stand. The original granite tires I melted down into nothing. Honestly, I don't like stands. I used to be a bike mechanic, and I would rather just like flip the bike upside down. Sometimes bike stand helped out, you know, if you were doing like major stuff, but I just found them to be more trouble than they're worth. I guess if you had like a big heavy car, you know. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. A little bouncy. Maybe it's too much. I gotta put a battery in there. There we go. What do you think, guys? It is a little bouncy. But not from... I'm thinking it needs to be a basher, but it's just going to be a road racer. I want it to fall like a sack of potatoes. Anyway, let's check this sucker out. Which one is it? Is it this one? Ah. There we go. One down. There we go. Oh, I forgot to put the tail on. That's my pretty tail, but I'm going to find the other one because... Oh, well, I'll just put this one back on there. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I still got a bunch of bikes, man. My garage is full of bikes. I tried to get my kids into them, but they're not, they got like motor development problems. So it's like actually a liability to have them on a bike, man. My kid's like 11 and still on training wheels. So here we go. There we go. Viper Blade. You like that name? I figured it was a kind of like a snake sword. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, here's another piece I forgot. So I got this styrofoam there to keep the air out of the nose. And I got this styrofoam here to help funnel the air around the shock towers there. So that's a big top secret improvement. See, there we go. You like that? Brilliant. And then just Velcro it in. Yeah, Randy, ride your bike. We all need to be less fat. That's why I got one of these bad boys, chasing around the dirt. Okay, so there's that one. One down. Here's some adjustable A-arms, man. I really hope to get these guys running on something, somewhere, eventually. Alright, what should we work on next? I'll put this one away for now. Next, this one needs the most work right here. Maybe I'll save this one for last. Get this one off the table. Oh, what happened here? I was looking for this battery. Okay. dirt. No trash can. I thought I sprayed this one off, but I guess not. So I just lost a bolt on this. What should I do? Should I either super glue a stock bolt back in there? Or maybe try one that's just a hair longer? What do you think? The Fortec wheels, so I was smart and I got them in the beginning, and I knew I was just going to use them eventually. Quick shout out to Bashmaster RC. He's not doing many RCs now, he's doing boats, but he was running his Typhon Grom. He had some Fortec wheels on there, and that's where I got the idea from. And then I ended up buying all of the cheap ones. So I got this set just to make sure they would work, and then after this worked, see, I got a busted axle on that one. Woo. I bought the green ones, and when I bought the green ones, I bought two sets. I got the drift ones too, because you know I like to go to that skate park, man. So what do you guys think? Should I put a longer bolt in there, or maybe super glue a stock one? Let's see what I got. We can try a longer one. Shocks, eyelets, springs. There's a stock screw. I knew I had one in here. Okay, I got stock screws. And one size longer. With the washer. And then if I don't use all this stuff, I usually just throw it in my random parts bin. And I'll clean it up later. So what do you guys think? Should I use the super glue? Okay, good idea. I'm okay with that. You gotta... There we go. Clean all the threads off. Got my get a big blob like that. There you go. Well, that's good sign. It still snugs up, so that means the threads aren't stripped. That's good. That's a good sign. Alright, let's just check the other ones, make sure they're still tight. Oop. Oh, a little less. You know, that was, I only ran this thing maybe twice, so a lot of the stuff on this chassis is still snugging up. There we go. We're breaking in, as they say. But once they all get snugged in, they're good to go, homie. I love this truck. It's my favorite one of all my cars. That one's the best one. Let's check it out. How many batteries I got over here? I usually have a foam block that goes right here, but I don't know where it is, so we'll just make a new one. Paying attention, this is a hack right here. See all this? You know how they usually come with that dust guard that comes right here? Well, you don't need that. You can go this route right there. Ta-da. Rocket science. Boom. All right, boys. Where'd the remote go? Did I plug it in? What's up, West Coast? This one good to go, guys. 2 down. All right, good. All right. So, next on the chopping block, boys. Gromzilla. I have so much fun with this guy right here. This thing is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It is just, it shouldn't exist. This thing right here is like insane. But it's got some issues. There's that block I was telling you about. So on this one, I don't know if the camera can pick it up right there, but there is a lot of slop coming off that gear in the servo. So under power, you can see the whole gear assembly swinging side to side. So somewhere, these are my random steering parts, brand new steering parts. Okay, let's see what's going on exactly. Let's try this battery. I need to find a giant battery that fits in here. What's the biggest battery you can fit in a Mojave Grom? Anybody got a Mojave Grom? I don't have, this is a Mojave Grom chassis. So I don't know, but I think that if you trim out all these little things right here, you can fit one of the big bad boys in there, one of the 5,000 mah. So as you see, this thing's got just tons of slop in it, which is okay because of what this guy does. He's just squeezing in between rocks at like, 1 mile an hour. But it's not okay to have slop in the crank arm right there because I need all the torque I can get on this thing. I do have a cheap hobby park, but this guy goes in the water, man. So I'm gonna stick with the, let's see what we got here. I might change out some other stuff too. You fit a 5,000 mah in a Mojave? Well, yeah. But this one, you think it'll thermal out? I got the rocket fan and double heat sinks. Oh, you mean the ESC will thermal out? It's possible. This is not a great ESC. I am looking at getting that the Capri or Capra. The Capra has a 370 brushed motor, but it comes with the transmission. And I was actually going to squeeze the transmission in right here and fab it in there. I'm also planning on getting another chassis and chopping it off and putting butting two front ends together and making a 4-wheel drive steering out of this. So I think I can manage if I get the Fusion. So the Hobby Wing 3000 kV Fusion is compact because it has a speed controller in it already. It might be able to make it work, man. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But right now I gotta yank this guy out. Okay. Set this aside for now. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of wiggle right there, man. Is it in the steering servo or the servo saver? It's a good question. I don't have time to mess with all that. I'm just going to put this brand new unit on. What is that, screw? I got a screw in there. These things. So the Gromzilla runs off of my original brushed granite ESC 2-in-1. And this thing has been submarine to the bottom of the ocean. This thing has been cranking these tires for probably 10 plus miles by now. We're actually kicking butt with that thing, man. All right. I need to take that little thing off. Oh, it's the wrong size. Ooh! Alright, so that one go over there. A Reefs Micro, the 99 or the 55? West Coast, you're using an Eco Power? I just saw a video on the Eco Power this morning. And he said he liked it on the Typhon. Where'd my other fall on the ground? Oh, there it is. I'm out of my tool chest. So I'm just going to crank this sucker all the way down. And since this got pulled out of a brand new Mojave, I think, off eBay. I got the full assembly, arms, turnbuckles, and the servo with the servo saver. It was like 20 bucks. Yeah. You know, Ty talks about them. Oh, you got the Reefs 99? Okay, I'll try that one. Because servos are really frustrating when you find out that most of them are just the same brand. They're just rebranded, you know, but they're literally the same product. Yeah. Yeah, that's what the guy said about the Eco Power is it's comparable. He said it's decent. He said I never heard him say it was great. He said it was good enough. Is what he said. But it was cheap. But these Spectrum SX110s are super cheap because when you buy them, they come with a warranty. So if you break them, you get another one free. So you're essentially buying two for the price of one. And I'm all for that. This is probably I was telling someone earlier, I think it's like my 8th one. But I've only bought maybe 4 of them. So I'm okay with that. And since I have so many of these lying around, these carcass ones, I could just rebuild them. Oops, didn't mean to hit the camera there. How's it coming in, by the way, guys? Can you see my fish? Where's my fish? Old Blue's not feeling too good, man. He's getting old. He's up there. But he was swimming around earlier. That's when I started this live stream because he was swimming around. He was happy. His name's Gustav, by the way. Randy Living Good. Do you own any other RCs that are not Groms? That's an interesting question. Because when I started... What's up, Urban Legend? How you doing? Happy Saturday, my brother. Thanks for jumping in here. We're on Grom number 3 right now. Fixing Grom number 3 out of 4. So I got one more after this. I'm just putting this one back together. Yes, I have a few cars that aren't Groms, but nothing seriously. I made myself a promise because I was doing a lot of research before I went with the Grom. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I needed it for. So I did a lot of research. Like I want to take daily walks, on the trails with something reliable and cheap. I want something that's upgradable and something that's fast and something that, you know, had a warranty, something that was back because I knew most of this garbage is just garbage. And I knew that a lot of the YouTubers out there they just say everything's great, like as soon as a truck comes out, they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest!" Like right now, they're doing with the Quake. This is, all the YouTubers have said the Quake is the greatest RC of 2025. You know. So anyway, between all the AI and everybody else, uh, I ended up getting the Groms because I like I said, I did all my research and I saw that all the parts were super cheap, and this is tricky to wire. I ain't gonna lie, I did a kind of a monkey job on this wire. Ugh. But I had to get it waterproofed. Okay, hopefully this works. Hopefully this fires up. Let's see if that fixed our problem, boys. Fan works. Well, that's good. Oop. I got the wires backwards. Okay. Well, that's a good thing to check right here on the bench rather than out on the trail. And be like, oh no, it's going backwards. So just swap the wires. That's why brushed motors are so awesome. Okay. I can tuck all these wires back in here. You have two Gorgons. I want the Quake. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, it looks awesome. I want to get the green one, and then I want to paint it like this. I want to make it like a freaking Savage Granite and just not call it a Quake anymore. Call it like the Tremor or something, the Aftershock or something like that. Don't steal my idea. The Granite Aftershock. Or dressing my Basher up to look like the Quake and making a Quake Grom and just rocking a two-wheel drive Granite and just calling it the Quake Grom. There we go. Let's try again. All right. That looks good. All right. Listen to that. Listen to that mesh. That's as fast as it goes. All right. This thing is cool, man. This thing it's super duper cool. Here we go, Ty. There's the Velcro. Keep it from flying out. You still here? Put a... Anyway. Okay. Let me get the body on here. 3 down, guys. 3 down, one more to go. And I saved the best for last, man. This bad boy right here's got 2 broken axles. So I've been rocking the plastic ones. Get this is hilarious. I've been rocking the plastic axles in this thing for my speed runs because I suspect... What's up, monster? I suspect that the plastic axles are better for high speed because they vibrate less because they fit so well. And they're able to absorb the vibration better and keep it out of the drivetrain. That's just my theory. Now, the problem is, you know, if you spin out or crash or something, you have a higher probability of bending and breaking the plastic. And once you crash, the plastic's, you know, no longer superior. However, until you crash, I believe they are superior, so I've tried to retain the plastic ones. Now, this is why I'm telling you this story right now. If you notice in the back here, the one that broke is not a plastic one. The weak link was the Fury Tech CVD axle. Can you believe that? So the one metal axle I had in here was the one that broke, which blows my mind. So anyway, keep your area clean, boys. Here we go. So when that axle it flew out. Then I spun and then I crashed, and I think I didn't crash. I just kind of cartwheeled a little bit, but I blew out one of my front CVDs too. So I blew 2 axles out in one run. So I just went online and bought the metal ones from Arma. But they'll come next week for my birthday. Yay! But until then, I got some new... These are what I got off Jenny's. If you saw my Jenny's video, man, I got these for like 17 bucks. 2 new axles. And here's my axle collection. You guys collect dog bones? These are all my fresh dog bones. I think I got one more. Anyway, fresh dog bones. I got 1 CVD here. And then I got them 2 rear metal ones. But I'm looking for the front ones I had. Or if I already used those. Is that what I blew out here already? Here's a CVD right there. Okay. Well, I got enough parts to replace it. That's what matters. Let's start on the... So this is the broke one here. We'll start with that one. Yeah, man. I got like, what, 7 dog bones? Fresh ones. Man, I have no problem collecting it, throwing one of these, man. I'm okay with it. It's all part of the game. Alright, so we took that off. Now we gotta get that guy out of here. And that's that funny system where you have to unscrew the little sub-axle. Which when I saw that, I felt that was a genius idea. You know, you might not agree, but I felt like having just to replace this little tiny thing rather than, you know, machining a giant piece like that. This way you're able to make the most complicated parts out of plastic. There we go. Oh yeah, but when I was in the market for RC cars, man, I already knew that these things are addictive and they're kind of like a never-ending rabbit hole. So I wanted to make sure whatever I got had lots of cheap parts available so that I could maintain it easily and not have to sweat every time I broke something like my friends, because it looks like this piece is okay. It just lost the pin. Let me see. Yeah, one of the holes is stripped out a little bit. But it threw the spring, so that's what... Let me show you guys. I think it's 10th scale RC, 10th scale performance. That dude, I think it was one of his videos where he mentioned that the retaining spring, look at this thing, wheel bearing off. And that's what I'm talking about. These the plastic axles are fit so tight. I believe they're superior at high speed, but you could see, let me see, the spring overlapped itself and the pin flew out. So all the pieces are still here, just it lost the pin, it threw the pin. So I don't know, I might replace that or fix that, repair that in a future date. We'll see. But until then, I got just a fresh one right here. Okay. Now another part I really like. Oof. Another part I really like are these Exotech hubs. Front hubs. They are very nice. They fit well. They're a good color. But most importantly, they fit the snug stuff very nicely. So, something to keep in mind now. Remember, guys, we always try to clean our threads, especially when we're going into metal. Clean it off. A lot of people use Loctite, and I'm not against Loctite, but only if you have a problem. If you don't have a problem, you don't need Loctite. Because it's better just to have them torqued correctly. In my opinion. In my experience, I think the Loctite kind of works against you over time. There we go. But this is just what's up, the dad? It's just a little, 16th scale or whatever. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. I'm sure with all those bigger rigs, like a 5th scale, you have to Loctite everything all the time. You just have to convert everything into Loctite bolts and pray for the best, I guess. I don't know. Pray you don't break anything. But yeah, to answer your earlier question, Randy, about the Groms, yes, I only have Groms. I do have a couple like toy grade stuff that my kids play with. But all right. So that front axle is fixed. Let me get that guy back on there. I do have like a new bright 4x4 Polaris looking thing. And I got SpongeBob, of course. I got SpongeBob. I don't know if you saw my Porsche video. Oops. I got a Porsche 918 Spider that I'm going to upgrade. While I'm here, guys, I'm going to do something else too. Where did my thing go? Oh, there it is. There you go. Now, one thing I don't like is this A-arm. Because this is one of the ones I crashed, and I actually stretched it out pretty good, so it's no bueno for speed runs. And I had some A-arms laying around. Where'd they go? Oh. Ta-da. Brand new A-arms. So let's put those on. Get rid of these metal ones. These are Fury Tech A-arms that were actually really good. You can see I shimmed that one up. And it actually is really tight, and I'm really happy with it. But this one is the one I've crashed like 3 times, and you can tell I've tried to bend it back, but the holes are stretched out, so they're pretty much shot. So let's get that guy off of there. This will be interesting. I'm still getting used to this front end assembly that I modified. The Gorgon, Gorgon was my second choice a year and a half ago when I was getting this. I always wanted a lunchbox or an RC10T. And I like the Losi truck too. So here's a quick secret. Let me show you my hack here. If you ever want to put the NASCAR Grom on your Typhon, you just take the Typhon nose and cut it in half, and it goes right on top. So, see? It's just one half of a Typhon nose. And I put it on top of the NASCAR nose. And I fed this little piece of foam right there just to fill the gap for aerodynamic reasons. I gotta take these front shocks off. Now this is going to handle a little bit differently now, because I'm taking a little bit of weight off. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully I can get away with not taking the wheels off here. I think so. Shouldn't be a problem here. But I think the plastic A-arms are actually, when they're brand new, they're actually very good. They fit very nicely. Boop. And they come right off, just like that. Boom. Okay, so reassembly, we need our new A-arms. Here, that's part number, I think. Hopefully it's the right one. Setting up set A. Right there. And we only need the lower ones. And you just got to make sure the shock thing goes forward. And I'll put these upper A-arms with my stash. Alright, now what do? We got to clean off the screws real quick. I'm not sure if I Loctited these or not. Now, I think I saw that dude RC Explained. He takes the hinge pins here, and he literally goes through an entire process of polishing them with like metal polish and and power drill. I'm not sure all that's necessary, but what I do is I do dip them in grease before I throw them in there, just because that little extra helps fill in the gap. And I love it when they just barely fit. It is barely fit in the hubs right there. Boop. This one goes right here. Hey, thanks. What's your name? Siabonga. Siabonga Sayo. What's up, brother? Welcome to the channel. I'm your friendly neighborhood Grom mad scientist. Emphasis on mad. When the parts don't go together like they're supposed to, this dude gets mad. So you know what I think I did? I think I pinched this one to be tighter on the Fury Tech A-arms, which is not going to be nice. Come on. There we go. Oh no. We got a clearance issue. Guys, it fits so good that it won't fit. There we go. Come on. Well, gentlemen, that's why I have this. A sanding block. And I'll just take the paint off. I'm not trying to remove much material on this thing at all. But that is a tight fit here. You almost got to press fit it in here. So I'm going to take the wheel off just so I have better access to it, so I can muscle it in there. Okay, I got a better view of it. So what I think I remember doing, guys, is when I put these Exotech hubs on the Fury Tech A-arms, I think that there was some slop in the A-arms here. So I actually tapped these, hammered them in a little bit to close that gap. Or I over tightened the screw or something. It fit on the other side, man. Come on. Let's go. Come on. All right, I don't have time for that. That, and then my little file here. Let's try it. It is so close, guys. It's like I can press fit it in there, but I can't like hand fit it in there. Ah. All right, so that's what we'll do. Don't try this at home, boys. There you go. Oh! No, but I almost popped the thing out. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit off. What do you guys do when this kind of stuff happens? Do you take your time and properly machine it down? Do you give up and buy new parts? Or you get frustrated with it and go with the bigger hammer? The bigger hammer theory? So this is the problem, the little ball. Maybe I could pull this ball out. The little ball is too long. That's what she said. Zing! Hey, Randy, thanks for stopping by, man. You want to come back? That's fine. More than welcome to, my friend. I'll put him down. Live. I'm telling you guys, it's like 1,000th of a millimeter too big. There we go, I got it. Woo! There we go. Let's go. Okay, where'd my axle go? Gotta put the axle back in the diff cup. Gooey! All right. Let me get a screw in there before it pops out. There we go. Let's crank her down. Yes. Nice positive. Okay. So, axles in there. Okay. Both axles are in. Both A-arms are in. Now, here's one of the tricks I do. Where did my forceps go? Oh, there. Okay. So I take the little hinge pins right there, and I just dip them in the grease. I get all the grease on there that I can, because I want it to be floating on grease, man. I don't want any friction in there, and I don't want any vibration to pass through there. So this is excellent. If you ever look at the suspension on your car, you know these pieces on your car have Zerk fittings. Well, they used to have Zerk fittings. So you could pump grease into there all the time. Hey, thanks, man. Good birthday. Yeah, you know, I keep waiting for these birthdays to work backwards. I thought that was like gonna happen. Like Benjamin Button. Can I get a Benjamin Button birthday? I never saw that movie. I just heard about it. Oops. There we go. All right. They're both in there tight. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Shocks. Wheel.
Dad.
Hey, sweetie.
I miss you.
Oh. I'm working on my truck. You want to say hi to everyone?
Where?
On the computer. I'm talking to people.
No.
Oh, okay. I got a babysitter watching the kids right now, so she's probably bored. She's like, Dad, why are you in your cave? There we go. One more shock tower screw. Put this bad guy back on there. Ta-da. Oops. All right. Front end feels good. Now I gotta get the grease off. The access grease. Put the front clip back on. Put the nose on there. What's up, guys? How you doing this Saturday? Guys got any plans this weekend? I got my daughter's birthday party tomorrow, so I'm trying to squeeze this in. I got a babysitter, so I have just enough time to fix these guys and get them back out there. Oop, and hopefully do a speed run. As long as everything checks out. Oh. Oh. Oh no. This part's tricky. There we go. Ta-da. Alright, front end's done. Let's get rid of these. Hey, late Urban. Thanks, brother. What's going on up here? Alright. Now I got a blown out axle in the back. Gotta replace that. That's no good. No bueno. So, take care of that. Yeah, axle. Put the axle in there. Let's go this side first. Probably got too much grease on there, but it's okay. There we go. What's up, guys?
Hi. What are you doing?
Ah, what's going on here? Ah. There we go. Come on. There we go. Ta-da. All right, I think we got that. Put the stupid axle. The hex back on there, the whatever this thing is. There we go. Okay. How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining the live stream. I'm actually... Oops. Finishing up here, I think. 4 out of 4 cars, man. Alright, that feels good. We can put that stuff away. Let's clean this stuff up a little bit. Now, if you made it this far in the live stream, I got something special for you. A special surprise. I got... What is this? Is this the NASCAR rear splitter? It is. Are we going to try to make it work back here? We are. That is one thing I noticed when speed running this out here, at least on my terrain, that this rear end, I don't know if it's the tires or the way I got the shocks locked out, but it is a little loose. And I kind of regret taking some of the the downforce off of this. It's not really a whole big deal, but this, I believe, will clean up. It's kind of oversized, so we're going to trim it down a little bit. But first, I just want to see how this is going to fit before I start trimming stuff. Does it clear the shocks? No. Well, maybe. Let's see. Oof. Thought I had this sucker on mute, man. Silent mode. Shouldn't be buzzing right now. The heck? So that's interesting. I don't think I want to use this piece. I don't think I need that piece. That's just kind of too much. But if you can notice, I got the oversized 10 scale shocks on here, and they are just barely touching up against that diffuser. But I think if I have the battery, the extra weight, and in motion, it's probably going to clear fine. So that's interesting. So maybe we'll just leave it like it is. But I'm going to trim some of this stuff off here. We don't need this stuff. I know a lot of this stuff was to accept the NASCAR body, but that's just a parachute. Okay. And I do not like the lip. I'm guessing that's there to match up with the NASCAR body. The tailgate. So if you don't have a pair of these flush cutters, wire cutters, man, these are great all-around tool. There we go. Got that cut mostly. Where'd my X-Acto knife go? My razor. Oh, razor blade. Where art thou? There we go. Just chop it down. All right. So, got a little hair right there. There we go. So that much comes off. Now we have a more slipstream functional rear air dam there. I think I can also chop this off. This off. Those are angles. That honestly looks pretty good. Okay. I'm going to take my little sanding block and just kind of clean up the rough stuff a little bit there. Have you guys ever been on a live stream and watched someone like hurt themselves on accident? That'd be funny. Okay. There we go. Let's get this bad boy on here. Oops, upside down. It's looking a lot quicker. Looks a lot more like a F1 car than a dune buggy. Tell you that. It's looking more and more like a Limitless every day. And that's what we really want, Arma, if you're paying attention. Make us a Limitless Grom. Pronto. Make an aerodynamic F1 car similar to the NASCAR size. This stuff, man, this steering stuff always kind of bothered me. Let's just go in here. I needed to do one last thing. That looks cool. I like that rear end. That's cool, man. It should help too. Clean up the wash in the back right there. And give it just a little bit of downforce. But most importantly, it's just a little bit of drag behind the rear wheels. Kind of like a dart or an Aero. But it'll also clean up the vortexes in the wake. So I think one thing I need to do, I might need a battery for this, is adjust my connecting rods here. Adjustable turnbuckle thing. Let's check it out. So, ooh, that almost took off. My trim is all the way to, not all the way to the left, but it's like 80% to the left. So instead of using trim, I'm going to adjust these turnbuckles. This one's going to be shorter, and this one will be probably the same, honestly. I'll just make this one shorter. So I'm thinking 1.5 turns. And one more for good luck. There we go. Okay. What do you guys think about that? Sneak that one in there. Okay. Tie that down. Boop. All right. And I'm about 90% sure that was an alignment issue. Yeah. But what it also might be is these might be loose. Because I saw that whole ESC was kind of moving around in there, man. So yeah, this was actually loose. You see how far that was loose? That was weird. Uh-oh. Those stupid tabs might be stripped. Let's try it now. Oops. Turn the steering right up. All right, it looks straight to me. I do have a Hobby Park servo, and I was probably going to end up getting a Reefs 99 in there. Yeah, this sucker's moving around in there. I don't like that. Might have to super glue that. Oops. Anybody see that? All right. And the wing was wobbly. I gotta tighten down my wing too. All right. This thing's kind of flimsy, kind of on the flimsy side. Not super happy with that. I do have a carbon fiber one that I made, but I don't think it works as well as I had hoped it to work. But I think that one's ready. I think we're good. Got my the axles are hooked back up. Got some aerodynamics. There we go. Particularly proud of that. Anyway, that's it. 4 out of 4. We fixed all 4 Groms just now in a back-to-back marathon. Let me clean up a little bit and then we'll recap what we did. Big shout out to the chat if you guys been making it this far. If you got any questions for me, go ahead and type them in the chat, man. Like I said, I love doing this stuff, so it's nice to have you guys hang out with me. Keeping it real over here. Where'd the chat go? Sorry guys, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I think I closed it out on accident. Let me see here. Put my blades away. My screwdrivers. Go right there. Pliers. Close that up. Oh. These are all my spare parts here. I got A-arms for days, guys. I got adjustable A-arms from hot racing. But those are for the NASCAR. They don't work too well. My axle collection. I got a couple of these hubs, bearings. I got one extra steel one. I'll throw that stuff in the spare parts bin. All right. And put this away until I break something else. Oops. There we go. Hey, Salvatore. This is the Typhon Grom. But this is equipped with the Losi NASCAR Grom front and rear splitters. And then I also got some custom carbon fiber skirts on there. Here, let me get the rest and I'll show you guys what we did today. So first off, we worked on the Speed Granite. I call this one Viper Blade. But we did A-arms on this guy. And then next, we worked on Dirtborn. We had to super glue a shock bolt in there. And then next, we worked on Gromzilla. We replaced the servo and some steering components. And lastly, for the grand finale, we worked on the Typhon. We replaced front A-arms, we replaced the front axle, we replaced a rear hub, a rear axle, and then we added the NASCAR rear diffuser. And that's it, boys. That's my collection right here. Not everything, I got a few more, but I'll line them up for you. So let's see. Let's get it down here. There we go. So this guy right here is my newest one. It's pretty much the brand new Granite Grom with the NASCAR Grom front splitter, the custom Aero wing, the carbon side skirts, got the 223S package. We got the Fury Tech front hubs, GPM rear hubs. Let's see, can we zoom? Oh yeah, we got the custom air dam the 223 system. We got the Traxxas 4 Tech Response 2.0s for the tires there. We have the 10th scale 2 mod shocks. We have, what else? Fury Tech rear hubs, HR rear locker, HR diff cups. This sucker's legit right there. And for the next one, we got Dirtborn here. This is my OG ride right here. I was so impressed with it, I had to make the channel. This guy is, I don't know, about half stock. The suspension and the steering components and everything are mainly stock because I like crashing this thing. But this does have the GPM shocks in there. Got the BLX axles, aluminum wheel nuts. It's the 223S system. All my rides have the aluminum drive shafts and the Exotech aluminum spur gear. But other than that, it's 223 system. This one's pretty relatively stock. It's meant for bashing and just off-roading the hell out of it. And then next we have this guy, Gromzilla, which, quick story behind this guy. When I crashed my Typhon, I blew up the bulkhead, and so I went out there and ordered a new chassis, but unfortunately the boneheads mislabeled the chassis and they sent me a Mojave chassis, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I was just sitting on a Mojave chassis, and I realized I had enough leftover parts to build a new car just using the old brushed system from my original setup. And so as I started piecing this thing together, I was like, hey, you know what? I can make Gromzilla. And so I got these rock crawler tires and a 10-tooth pinion, and this sucker climbs walls pretty much. And then last but not least, this is my number 2 Typhon. My first Typhon I exploded, crashing at 62 miles an hour. And exploded the chassis, so I just got a new one, and this is it. I'm still sitting on a Typhon chassis. I'm going to put together a basher Typhon eventually when I get that far. Oops. My screen turned on. But that's about it, guys. That's the collection right there. What's your favorite car? What's your favorite Grom? Leave me a message in the comments. Check it out, guys. This is what we're working with here. We got You got a favorite? Dirtborn, Aid, Gromzilla. I don't know what to call this. What do you guys think I should call it? Limitless? Nah. Call it Thunder or something? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining us. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, man. If you're into this kind of material, go ahead and subscribe. I'm doing this stuff pretty much every weekend, when I get a babysitter. And I run these things practically every day. Trying to make content, man. Awesome content about these awesome cars, man, because I'm trying to grow the community. There's a bunch of dudes out there don't know about these things, and they're awesome. These things are just insane. The price point, the performance, the quality, the value, fun per dollar. You can't go wrong with these guys. Anyways, it's your boy Rugghead, RC. I'm out, man. Peace.